Hey everyone, welcome back. Today we're diving into something that affects every passenger in the skies. Yes, we're talking about pilot training. If you've ever wondered why airline safety standards seem to be shifting so rapidly, you're not alone. Make sure you stick around because what you're about to hear might surprise you. For decades, the image of a commercial airline pilot has been almost iconic. The uniform, the calm demeanor, the ability to navigate a massive aircraft through turbulent skies. Pilots have always represented competence, reliability, and trust. And for a long time, Western Airlines prided themselves on rigorous training programs that produced some of the most skilled pilots in the world. But lately, you might have noticed something different. News reports, insider interviews, and regulatory updates point to a sudden shift in how pilots are being trained, and it's stirring conversations across the aviation industry. At the heart of this change is a mix of economics, technology, and a growing recognition that the skies are more crowded and more complex than ever before. Western Airlines aren't just tweaking their manuals, they're rewriting the playbook. One of the driving forces behind this shift is pilot shortage. The industry has been facing a shortage of qualified pilots for years. Airlines that once had dozens of applicants for every opening are now scrambling to fill cockpits. This shortage isn't just inconvenient, it's potentially dangerous. Fewer pilots mean longer hours, more fatigue, and less margin for error in an industry where precision is everything. To address this, airlines have started exploring new ways to accelerate training without compromising safety. Some of these strategies might sound familiar to tech enthusiasts. Simulation-heavy programs, AI-assisted monitoring of student performance, and scenario-based exercises that replicate emergency situations in virtual environments. But here's the interesting part. Even though technology plays a big role, this isn't just about cutting costs or automating training. Airlines are also responding to changing passenger expectations and regulatory pressure. After high-profile incidents in the past decade, regulators in the US, UK, and Australia have introduced stricter evaluation standards. Pilots now need more than just technical skill. They need decision-making under pressure, risk assessment, and mental resilience. Take flight simulators, for example. These have been around for decades, but now airlines are investing in next-generation simulators that are almost indistinguishable from real-world conditions. Pilots in training can experience severe turbulence, engine failures, and complex weather scenarios, all in a controlled, safe environment. The goal? Make sure that when a crisis hits, a pilot's first reaction is precise, confident, and safe. And it's not just about the cockpit. Modern pilot training increasingly incorporates psychological and leadership elements. Airlines are testing pilots for stress management, communication skills, and teamwork, abilities that might have been overlooked in the past. After all, flying a plane isn't just about pressing buttons. It's about making split-second decisions that affect hundreds of lives. Another big change is the shift toward continuous learning. Instead of a rigid training schedule that ends once a pilot is certified, airlines are introducing programs for lifelong skill development. This means pilots constantly refresh their skills, adapt to new aircraft, and keep up with evolving safety protocols. Think of it as professional development on steroids, where every training session could be life-saving. However, these changes don't come without controversy. Veteran pilots have raised concerns that speeding up training or relying too heavily on simulations could lead to gaps in experience. Some worry that while technology is helpful, nothing truly replaces hands-on experience in a real aircraft. The industry is now balancing innovation with tradition, trying to maintain the human judgment that has always been the backbone of aviation safety. It's a delicate dance, and one that carries immense responsibility. Airlines are not just teaching someone to fly, they're shaping the future of air travel itself. Mistakes are not an option, and passengers may never see the countless decisions, drills, and evaluations that happen long before a plane even leaves the runway. But why the sudden urgency now? Why are Western Airlines changing pilot training so quickly compared to the past? Experts suggest that it's a combination of economic recovery post-pandemic, the explosion of air traffic, and the pressure to reduce human error. The stakes are higher than ever, and the window to adapt is shrinking. As we left off, Western Airlines are facing unprecedented pressure to evolve pilot training, not just to fill cockpits, but to ensure that every pilot can handle increasingly complex skies. Now, let's dig into what this actually looks like on the ground and in the air. One of the most notable trends is the modular training system. Instead of the traditional long, linear approach, airlines are breaking training into focused modules: emergency procedures, navigation, communications, and decision-making under stress. This allows pilots to concentrate on specific skills, assess their performance in real time, and immediately address weaknesses before moving on. For example, a trainee pilot might spend weeks in high-fidelity simulators, running through rare but critical scenarios, like simultaneous engine failure during takeoff or sudden extreme weather. In the past, pilots might have only seen these once in real life. Now, repetition in a safe but realistic environment builds confidence and instinctive reactions. Veteran instructors also report that modern training is becoming more adaptive. Programs now use data analytics to track a pilot's performance across hundreds of variables. If a trainee consistently hesitates during a decision-making drill, the system flags it, and additional targeted coaching is provided. It's almost like having a personal trainer, but for every skill a pilot needs to survive and thrive at 35,000 feet. Another major shift is the emphasis on crew resource management. Pilots aren't just learning to fly the plane, they're learning to operate as part of a team. Communication, leadership, and collaboration are now just as important as technical knowledge. Studies have shown that a well-coordinated cockpit can prevent errors that even the best-trained individual pilot might make alone. Interestingly, airlines are also experimenting with mental resilience programs. Long-haul flights, night shifts, and the constant need to make life-or-death decisions can take a mental toll. Some airlines are offering cognitive training, stress management techniques, and even mindfulness exercises to ensure pilots remain sharp, focused, and emotionally stable. But it's not just about training methods. It's also about the culture of safety. Airlines are creating an environment where pilots feel empowered to report errors, near misses, or uncertainties without fear of punishment. This transparency is crucial because it allows organizations to learn from mistakes before they become accidents. We're also seeing real-world implications for passengers. Shorter boarding delays, smoother handling of in-flight issues, and quicker responses during emergencies are all benefits of this revamped training. In many ways, the passenger experience is becoming indirectly safer because pilots are being prepared for situations that once might have overwhelmed them. Of course, these changes come with challenges. Training programs are expensive, and the technology, especially advanced simulators and AI monitoring systems, requires significant investment. Some airlines have faced pushback from unions and experienced pilots who worry that speed-focused programs might sacrifice hands-on experience. Balancing innovation with traditional expertise has become a central debate in aviation circles. Despite the hurdles, the industry consensus is clear. The stakes are too high to maintain the status quo. Air travel is growing faster than training programs used to, and the complexity of modern airspace, think congested skies, drones, and evolving weather patterns, demands pilots who are not just skilled, but adaptive, resilient, and precise under pressure. Consider this: a modern jetliner carries hundreds of passengers, each trusting the pilot to navigate thousands of miles of unpredictable conditions safely. Every decision matters. By evolving training programs, Western airlines aren't just responding to a shortage of pilots, they're shaping a generation of aviators who can meet the demands of tomorrow's skies. As aviation technology continues to advance, these training programs will likely evolve even further. Fully automated systems, next-generation flight analytics, and immersive VR simulations could one day make pilot preparation even more sophisticated, but the core principle remains unchanged. The human mind and judgment remain at the center of air safety. So next time you board a flight, take a moment to think about the rigorous preparation your pilot has undergone. What you see in the cockpit is the result of thousands of hours of training, thousands of simulations, and countless decisions designed to keep you safe. If you found this exploration into pilot training eye-opening, make sure you like, subscribe, and share, because staying informed about the skies above isn't just fascinating, it's essential.